Good morning. Another word about elections. Some people say that third candidates are spoilers because they take votes away from this candidate or that candidate. Well, it's true they take votes, but isn't that the purpose of any candidate, is to take votes away from the others? Shouldn't matter if they're Party X or Party Y or Party Z, or maybe even not affiliated with any party. So I think it has to be that it seems like they sort of divvy up the country. They divvy it up. They'll say, you can have that state. That state can be Republican. You can have that state is Democrat. And they divvy up the states, each with their own numbers, hoping to have something pretty close to 50-50. But divvying up territories, if you did that in business, that would be considered illegal. That would be like conspiring and antitrust and trying to build a monopoly by carving up territories where you can control everything. So that's why I wonder about the strategies that these two parties carve up the states, saying you can push in this state and then you'll have that state. And so then they kind of divvy up the states by territories. So I thought I'd mention that. Nobody seems to talk about that much, because then if a state were to become, say, libertarian, green, or independent, that would upset that delicate balance, wouldn't it? Would they know what to do? Or let's say we did have a viable third party, one that could pull 35% of the popular vote. What would it mean if it was 35, 30, and 35, or 34 and 1, or some mixture that's close to even? What would that mean? How would that play out? I just thought I'd mention it, because some people say those third parties are not going to get elected, so they're not viable. But yet, some people have lost elections and they've blamed it on the third parties, which means they must be a factor if you're going to blame them. So, there's certain strategies that you can take to address that sort of thing. Number one, if you are a Republican, you might want to consider supporting or giving Ralph Nader some ins. Why? Because he's generally considered to be like a Democrat or a liberal. So he would steal votes from the Democrat candidate. So goes your reasoning. So you want to see him get into the debates. You want to promote him as much as possible, because he's going to take more Democrat votes away, making your Republican candidate look good. Now, Democrats, your rebuttal, your comeback on that, is to talk to Mr. Nader and see, why do the people like him so much, or his ideas? Maybe if you took his ideas as your ideas and made yourself significantly different than Republicans, you might have a chance. Because then they'll say, well, the Democrat Party is already supporting a living wage of $10 an hour. The Democrat Party is already going for single-payer nationwide health care. The Democrat Party is already going for getting out of the wars and getting a balanced budget, or going after the Wall Street criminals and the war criminals. Suddenly, you would discover the popular vote would then shrink away from Ralph Nader and come to you. All you have to do is pick up some of his ideas, which you have done in the past, and that would be a valid counter. seeing as corporations don't vote, but people do. Think about it. Just some strategizing there. So, Republicans, give Ralph Nader a chance. Promote him and give him exposure. And he can take votes away from Democrats. Democrat mode. Then Democrats find out Ralph Nader's biggest selling points and take them on as your own. And push them and follow through. And then I think you'll have nothing to worry about, hey? So, that's my advice for today. Be seeing you.